So, I'm sitting here watching these tiny creatures. They're called ants. And as I do, I erase all limitations from my mind. I look at these ants and with my limited thinking, I see them as limited beings. Their efforts are one-dimensional. They're not concerned about yesterday, certainly not at all concerned about tomorrow. Their job is parochial and immediate, here and now. Because of their design, they have no concept of immortality, nor do they care. Their lifespan is about 3 years, and that's long enough. We, on the other hand, are very much concerned about immortality. As a rule, we waste our youth, devote our productive years to the profit of someone else, and as we decline in years, we recognize we can never go home again. So much to do and so little time. As we get older, the value of money is in buying time. Then there is James Powell, the richest man on the planet. So many companies that if I should name them, you would recognize them even though you may not know the owner, James Powell. What can be done? Powell asked his doctor. Nothing, was the bleak answer. The doctor continues, you're 80 years old and almost all of your medical problems are genetically induced. The doctor pauses. Look, we as human beings are all genetically flawed. Interbreeding within cultures and races has not helped one bit. If at age 15 we could have identified and made the necessary gene splicing, maybe you at age 80 would be a very happy and super healthy man. Just saying. I am James Powell and I have all the money one can have. What about an alternative treatment? Yes, said the doctor, there are treatments that can extend your life for 4 months, to say 9 months. But that would involve a lot of time on life support. Meaning that I would be immobile, right? Yes. Then there was the pregnant pause. One man at the end of his life with all the money in the world and a medical doctor who cannot extend his life. The doctor said, almost inaudible, well, there is a bizarre, out-of-this-world proposal concocted by a research scientist not very well regarded by his peers. The doctor scribbled a name and a phone number and handed it to James Powell. Ram Patel. And a phone number. The doctor continued, this is unethical for me to even share this information, but if I had no conventional alternatives, I too would be reaching for the bizarre. Then it was wheels up, and within a few hours the huge private plane was landing in India. No time to waste. Dr. Ram Patel was waiting on the tarmac. Later at dinner on the airplane, the conversation got to the meat of the subject. Can you, Dr. Patel, extend my life? Yes, I think so. My doctor explained the procedure to me. You're going to break down my molecules and reconstitute them again at age 10 or 15. Perform the gene splicing procedure and then break down the molecules and again bring me back to age 80. Is that it in a nutshell? Yes, but it would be more complicated than that. Dr. Patel would need a lab, a lot of reliable and constant power. Dr. Patel would also need a staff of at least 4 assistants, each a professional in her own field, or his own field. Dr. Patel, can you build a lab and assemble a staff within 4 weeks? James Patel asked. Yes. With enough money, I can do it in 3 weeks. Do get started, Dr. Patel. Time is a luxury I don't have. What will it cost? My estimate is about $148 million. Now, here you go. You now have $400 million to get started. There are conditions. Your lab must be built on my private island and in private. Dr. Patel looked outside the window of this very beautiful airplane, and next to this one was another beautiful private jet. That plane is out there for your use, all expenses paid, James Patel assured the good doctor. I'm flying back to my island tonight. It is April 15th, and I'll see you on my island with your complicated and completed lab on May 15th. One last question. Do you foresee any problems whatsoever? None. The men parted company. James Powell's door to his plane was closed, and the plane was cleared and ready to taxi. James Powell's staff was his private doctor, 2 nurses, his pilot, a co-pilot, a chef, and 2 legal assistants. They went everywhere he went. Yes, the plane slept 10 people very comfortably. Dr. Patel watched Powell's plane take off into the beautiful sunset of India. Then he walked over to the plane that was made available to him. Dr. Patel has never been in a private luxury jet before. He allowed himself a faint smile, but then returned to the task at hand. Hi, I'm Andrew, your pilot. They shook hands. I am Matthew, your assistant. I drove you here, but we didn't have time to talk. Any plans on going anywhere this evening? No, said Dr. Patel, I just need some sleep. Tomorrow, maybe? Yes, tomorrow, maybe. Right now, I have a lot to think about. You have a suite at the Plaza Hotel. I'll take you there. Then he paused. Does Mr. Powell know that this is a theory that has never been tried? Dr. Patel asked. Matthew asked a question. Do you believe that it'll work? Matthew was asking for his reasons too. To be continued.